Reddit Martian back with another tip-top video for you. r/AskReddit. Surgeons of Reddit. What's the weirdest object you've had to remove from someone's butt? MD. But not a surgeon. On my surgery we had to remove a mini Nerf football from someone's butt. He kept apologizing and saying he wasn't gay. Later, the attending surgeon told us that it's always the straight guys coming in with stuff up their butts and they always try explaining that they aren't gay. Football up the butt gives new meaning to the term wide receiver. Definitely not a tight end. Not anymore anyway. We received a patient with horrible pain that felt like constipation. He couldn't poop and laxatives weren't helping. We soon found out that the blockage wasn't just constipation. It was a string of beads several meters long that had become tangled into an ugly ball inside. I had to snip it apart and carefully pull pieces of it out. When most of it was out, his butthole became a rocket engine with diarrhea as the propellant. I once had a flatmate who was a nurse. She had a patient who came in complaining of stomach pains, which was caused by the cucumber he'd shoved up his butt a couple of days earlier. Apparently the smell caused by pickling a cucumber in your colon is extremely nasty. I've seen a small size Fanta orange soda can get pulled straight out of a man's rectum. Rectum? Damn near killed him. Don't know what qualifies as weird anymore. Between myself and friends. Glass dildo, vibrating dildo, travel toothbrush holder, Campbell's soup can, cucumber, mag light, cologne bottle, Sean John unforgivable head, time capsule, light bulb, aerosol can cap. The oddest one was literally nothing. Guy comes in complaining of something stuck up their butt by girlfriend. ER doctor feels and nothing there. X-ray and CT scan says maybe something there. I don't feel anything. In the operating room I feel deeper and still nothing. Finally do a full colonoscopy and nothing there. I'm not a doctor, but my cousin is a colorectal surgeon. She's dealt with at least 2 people who've put light bulbs in their butts. Girl I know had suspected cervical cancer. Saw 2 different doctors before a specialist examined her surrounded by trainee doctors. Grabbed and pulled on what everyone thought was an inflamed, infected, tumorous cervix. It was a love egg. It had been in there for 3 months. Son of a doctor here. My dad removed an entire peeled sweet potato from someone's colon once. He swore that he had just slipped and fell on it. Maybe he was just cooking while naked. He peeled the potato, put it on the floor so he can get something from the fridge and whoops just slips and falls right on the potato. When I worked in the we had a guy come in with a 6 battery mag light stuck up Main Street. The funny part is that it was inserted bulb out and it was turned on. So we laid him down prone and the doc spread his cheeks. Then the room lit up like he just cracked open Marcellus Wallace's briefcase. I suppose the light does shine down there. Edit. Merry Christmas to me with that gold. Not the butt. Close to it. My sister worked in a urology clinic and has some very crazy stories ranging from at-home exchange procedures to this case in particular. She had to remove almost 200 BBs from a guy's bladder via his urethra one by one. As the guy had a fetish of shoving things down his urethra. Looks like his BB gun was pump action. Back when I was in ER tech, we had this guy come in with a full-size bottle of VO5 shampoo up his butt. Of course he said he fell on it in the shower. You could clearly see it on the X-ray. It was pretty spectacular. The best part was he knew exactly what needed to be done to get it out, suggesting that this wasn't the first time. He asked for conscious sedation and for someone to pull it out. Well, the ED doctor tried that, then tried to manually get it out with forceps, and was essentially elbow deep in this dude, but couldn't get it. He had to go to the operating room to get it taken out. I bumped into the surgeon a few days later and asked him how it went. He joked to me that after we knocked him out, I grabbed a plunger out of the bathroom and got it out that way, but then told me all he had to do was stick some suction up there till he felt it connect, and then slowly pulled it out, according to the surgeon. This guy never presented any sort of identification or insurance card and demanded to pay his entire bill before he left. Usually takes some time for bills to get finalized. He paid it completely in cash and then left via a taxi. A nurse. I've seen baseballs, loads of dildos, cans of soda, vegetables. There should be a public service announcement about using dildos in the bum. It needs to have balls or some sort of base so it doesn't get lost up there. Women's vaginal dildos don't need them, as there is only so far it will go. A doctor I worked with once told a man, "It's okay if you want to put things in your rectum. You just have to use the right things, without a base, without a trace." Not a surgeon, but a former anesthesia technician while in the army. I had a few interesting cases come through. Top 5, not in order. 1. Light bulb. Not like a lamp light bulb, but one of those LED lightsaber bulbs that you see air traffic controller people using. 2. 24-inch double-ended ribbed black dildo. That was a guy who had it stuck there. 3. Soda can. 4. Ken doll. This was actually removed from a woman's vagina. 5. Half a baguette. Not a ducking clue how that happened honestly. I've thought about it a lot and just never could figure it out. Not me but a good friend I have known since 6th grade who is an emergency room doctor. Straight couple in their early 20s and they were using a vibrator on her. They switch. He said it was his first time and they had lube everywhere and the slim 6-inch vibrator disappeared all the way up in him while it was still on. They waited and tried to get it out on their own and finally went into the air. They were going to wait till the batteries died but it was getting late. My buddy tried to get it out but couldn't get it. He told the guy they might have to do surgery to get it. The guy asks my buddy if he has to go and can he call his mom and tell her. My buddy laughs and says you are 22 and you get to call your mom to tell her you have a buzzing vibrator in your butt that might be perforating your colon. Then my buddy remembers a guy he went to medical school who works in the same hospital. He has freaky long thin fingers like ET that might work. The other doctor gloves up and gets the vibrator still buzzing out of him. Just a FYI, it is really easy for this to happen, so limit the lube on your hands. Your colon gets like a suction on it and things go in easy like what happened to these guys. Edited subbed vibrator where dildo was. Had a friend in med school whose assignment was to figure out how his cadaver died. He found about $5 in quarters up the man's butt. Don't shove metal up your butt, metal poisoning is real. But hey, $5 is $5. I'm a vet. Dog had eaten a whole roll of poop bags. The plastic baggies people use to clean up after their pets on walks. They unspoiled in his gut and spread from stomach to colon. His owners realized what had happened when he started pooping out bags and brought him in through a. My co-worker went in to cut him and the scene she described was hilarious. He would intermittently strain a little and poop out a little section of bags. Someone would tear them off and he'd be okay for a bit then poop out some more. Like he was dispensing them for himself. He did great after surgery. Not a surgeon. But as a former paramedic I brought them lots of business and feel qualified to chime in. I brought a guy to the hospital with severe abdominal pain and rectal bleeding. The dispatch nature was accidental injury, not life-threatening per patient. The chief complaint was I put something in my butt and can't get it out. Patient refused to elaborate on something. Delivered patient to the ED and was filling out my run report when the charge nurse came into the EMS room and said, "Come here. You have to see this." I followed her to the little X-ray alcove next to his room as a surgical orderly was wheeling him out of the room along with a nurse and the ED attending. The charge nurse flipped on the light board. Yes, I'm going old enough. X-rays used to be film based. And I stared in confusion for a few seconds. I could make out the pelvis, both femurs, spine, etc. but there were other hard objects shown. She pulled down the first X-ray and put up the second, which is when I made out a small animal skull and I realized the other objects were bones as well. I looked over to the nurse and started, "Is that a rat?" She finished, Dude stuck a rat up his butt and was rushed to surgery because it chewed the shirt out of him. Pun intended. Before suffocating and had perforated his colon in multiple locations. He survived a discharge and is presumably still out there. My partner and I never did determine the method of administration, but I'm picturing one of those Habertrail plastic tube cage setup things. Do you know what you are? That's right, you're a champ. Thanks for watching. Like and share if you enjoyed, don't forget the bell. Subscribe for more videos. See you soon, Martians.